Good evening and thanks for joining us on today's edition of Prime News on My Media, Prime Television. I am Fon Quinter, broadcasting live from Douala, Cameroon's economic capital. The news starts now. Samuel Ethiopi's alongside other Cameroonians have expressed sympathy over the attack of 3 Algerian journalists covering the African competitions in the country. The attack, which left many aback, has questioned the intensity of security at various sites hosting visitors. Dolingande with details.
While the rest of the world was fascinated by the opening of the 2021 AFCON ceremony in Yaoundé, crowned by the Indomitable Lions' victory against the Burkina Faso team, some men of the underworld in neighboring Douala, Cameroon's economic capital, on the other hand, saw this time fit for their operations. According to a tweet by the Algerian media outlet DZ Foot, 3 Algerian journalists were attacked at about 10 p.m. Sunday at the exit of their hotel by a group of unidentified bladed weapon-armed beings. Still contained in the release, the journalists who managed to escape were injured but their lives spared. However, the attackers left with some personal effects, mobile phones and a passport. Although DZ Foot in its tweet questions the security strength that be, some Cameroonians in the likes of Samuel Eto'o have reacted sympathetically thus.
Et pour vous, nos chers frères journalistes, je tiens à vous présenter.
To our dear brothers and sisters of the press, accept our sincere apology because you too, who were assaulted in Douala, are a part of us. And I wish to humbly plead that you forgive us. That is not the Cameroonian hospitality. But there are bound to occur little mishaps even amongst family members from time to time. So I wish to apologize again by assuring you that you are at home. On behalf of all our authorities and ministers, we are also assuring you to feel at home at all times and feel secured as though you were in Algeria. So it is on this note that I want to wish you a successful march, and we wish you the best of your stay in Cameroon. In the same light, Mila Roger, one of Cameroon's football legends, also tweeted, extending his heartfelt sympathy. Meantime, it should be recorded that from the lodging sites, the streets, and the various stadia where the matches are being played, security is tight.
The sad one, 3 persons have lost their lives following an accident in Inyasa yesterday. A truck transporting drinks ran into a structure, killing the security guard, while the driver and his assistant died instantly. Nora Kakebi tells us more.
The population of Yassa, a neighborhood in Douala in the littoral region of Cameroon, is yet to recover from the shock of an accident which left 3 people dead on the spot. Yesterday, January 10, 2022, at Yassa, a truck transporting hundreds of crates of drinks had an accident and unfortunately killed a security guard on duty at one of the companies found around that area. Apart from the security guard who met his untimely death in the most gruesome manner, crushed with his intestines all out, the driver of the truck as well as the truck conductor were trapped in the cabin of the truck for long hours, until the elements of the firefighting brigade answered presence at the scene to help pull out their lifeless bodies. Reports gathered say the truck driver was on top speed and the accident has been attributed to reckless driving. However, security officials later visited the site of the accident and have already opened investigations in order to establish the exact cause of the fatal accident. Concerned Cameroonians are desperately calling on all road users to be cautious as they ply the roads, and especially when transporting precious lives from one destination to the other.
Now, workers of the Ezeka Council have entered week 2 of their sit-down protest. The workers are protesting over unpaid salaries, and these workers with placards are demanding to have talks with council officials for the situation to be rectified. The mayor of Ezeka Council, Tijok Sylvain Maurice, has given the workers until January 12 to resume work or be ready to face sanctions. The most beautiful woman in Cameroon for the year 2022 is known. 27-year-old Julia Samantha Edima was crowned Miss Cameroon on the night of January 7 and 8, 2022 at Palais Polyvalent in Yaoundé. Audrey Zaza completes the story.
Miss Cameroun 2022 est la candidate numéro 7.
In the early hours of Saturday, January 8, 2022, the life of Julia Samantha Edima Asumu completely changed as her Miss South Cameroon crown was swapped to Miss Cameroon 2022. The 15th edition of Miss Cameroon, which took place at Palais Polyvalent in Yaoundé on Friday, January 8, 2022, saw a huge crowd, fans and supporters of the 30 contestants for the crown. Julia Samantha stressed on her mission to promote mental health.
I'm so excited to be tonight, Miss Cameroon 2022. My first mission will be to create a structure, a platform where we will discuss about mental health.
A mission which she hopes to carry out successfully with the help of her colleagues, first runner-up Beyala Etaba Sonia from the south and Nwala Prandi, second runner-up from the northwest region. The 15th edition, which equally saw the participation of a whole lot of Cameroonian dignitaries, was different from the previous as some innovations were brought in.
La première innovation, c'est que d'habitude on a souvent.
In the past years, we had 2 candidates per region, but due to the fact that Cameroon is hosting the AFCON 2021 this year, we've decided to take 3 candidates per region. Equally, there are lots of packages to win, and we've invited juries at the international level.
Tellement de l'eau, et ensuite il y a aussi des jurys qui nous viennent de l'international.
This year's Miss seems to be one of the best choices ever since the organization of this competition, as she is brilliant and well known in the Cameroonian movie industry. Born on February 1, 1995 in Mayo Center in the South region, Julia Samantha is sent to Germany at the age of 5 for her primary education. Back to Cameroon years after, in 2015, she obtains her baccalaureate and furthers her education at the University of Douala, where she obtains a bachelor's degree in corporate communication. With her little experience, she tries the Miss Orangina contest and wins the 2015 edition. Julia Samantha later on embraces the cinema world and captivates movie fans with her performances, especially in her role in the Cameroonian series Madame Monsieur of Ebenezer Kepombia. Due to her different roles in movies, she becomes well known in the country and even out, an advantage which many Cameroonians attribute to her triumph in the Miss Cameroon 2022 competition. Her next adventure, Miss World or Miss Universe, why not?
On our feature page today, we focused on the sales of puff-puff and beans of the delicacy that has become a reliable source of livelihood over the year in Cameroon. Bukengo, what it tells us more.
Puff-puff and beans, commonly known as a chombo, is one of Cameroon's delicacy and easy access food, especially as one can easily get it from women who have taken this delicacy to the street, sometimes in the morning, afternoon as well as evening. Though out-of-home food is commonly called mama food is considered mostly to be done by women, Mr. Mama of Gaundere breaks the earth regarding a chombo for himself, his family and children. It's been many years now since I started this business. The population is drawn by my hygiene and quality of the food. And all my children were born and raised through and by this business. As the sun goes down daily, children, women and men line up before Mr. Mama to buy puff-puff and beans for themselves, either as a family dinner to satisfy their cravings and many more. This business has helped me build a house. The business sustains us, that's me and my family, and our children are provided with all they need through this business. Mr. Mama says, though the job may seem meager, little drops of water can make an ocean, as he encourages individuals, especially youth, to be steadfast in business. The message I have for those who want to follow in this trade or any other is that you can start small. The environment may not be big and comfortable at the beginning, but all will eventually fall in place with time, as long as you don't quit or give up. Do not be ashamed or lazy. You should focus on your goal and let that be your drive. It is worth mentioning that this protein-rich delicacy, puff-puff and beans, have been for many decades now a life-saving meal for many persons, especially university students.
Bukengo Worthy reports in the news out of the country. Bandits in Nigeria have reportedly killed at least 200 people in the Zamfara state, while in Ethiopia 56 were killed in an airstrike on a camp for internally displaced persons. Details on these stories with Eileen Sama.
Let's begin in Nigeria, where at least 200 people have been killed by gunmen and thousands more displaced during multiple raids in the northwest region of the country. According to the Nigerian Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Sadiya Umar Farouk, gunmen rampaged through Ankara and Bukiyon districts, murdering thousands of people, and dealt a heavy blow to authorities struggling to restore order in Zamfara state. Minister Umar Farouk added that more than 10,000 people were displaced and scores still missing. Note here that the killings took place over the weekend and the first official toll was communicated on Sunday. As a result, many villagers fled, leaving everything behind them. It is worth highlighting that the governor of Zamfara state that borders Niger, Bello Matawale, had earlier downplayed the violence, saying only 58 people were killed. Last year, he imposed restrictive measures for almost 3 months, shutting down telecoms, capping fuel sales, and closing cattle markets in an attempt to weaken the bandits to no avail. While in Ethiopia, aid agencies have suspended operations in the zone in the northern Tigray region, where dozens were killed in an airstrike, according to the United Nations. The UN's humanitarian agency, OCHA, said the ongoing threat of drone strikes left them little choice but to halt activities. Over the weekend, aid workers said that 56 people had been killed and dozens more injured in an airstrike on a camp for the displaced. It came as a spokesperson for the Tigray People's Liberation Front, Getachew Reda, accused Eritrea of launching fresh attacks against the group's fighters. However, it has not responded to the accusations. It should be recalled that Ethiopian government forces, with the support from Eritrean troops, have been battling rebels in Tigray for more than a year in a war that has claimed the lives of thousands. Elsewhere in Uganda, schools have fully reopened almost 2 years after they were shut due to the COVID pandemic. Since the virus forced governments to close learning institutions back in March 2020, this has been one of the world's longest closures. The Ugandan authorities say children will be promoted to the next class and there will be targeted work to give them a chance to catch up. Note here that Uganda's National Planning Authority projected that at least 30% of all students who were in school before the pandemic may never return.
And to sport, 3 days into the Total Energies Africa Cup of Nations, all participating teams have been showcasing their strength in various stadia across the country with wins and losses recorded. Get full details right ahead. The Total Energies Africa Cup of Nations, which kicked off in Cameroon on January 9, 2022, is still making waves across the continent and the world. All 24 teams taking part in the 33rd edition of the Continental Sports Jamboree have been showcasing their strength and know-how in various stadia across the country. 3 days into the competition that kicked off with a group stage that will see the teams whistle down to 1 come February 6, 2022, expectations are high as football lovers await all 52 matches. It's been an exciting game so far, with wins and losses, but what is certain is the fact that one amongst the 24 teams will be crowned champions. For major highlights, the indomitable Lions of Cameroon has secured 3 points after defeating the Stallions of Burkina Faso 2-1 during the opening match at the Olympic Stadium. The Thubaros Azus of Cape Verde has equally secured 3 points after defeating the Walas of Ethiopia 1-0. Meanwhile, the Warriors of Zimbabwe trashed the Teranga Lions of Senegal during their encounter yesterday, January 10. Other teams that have secured points since the start of the competition are Guinea, Morocco, and Gabon. Today, January 11, Algeria will play against Sierra Leone, while the Elephants of Nigeria will clash with the Pharaohs of Egypt, and Sudan versus Guinea-Bissau. It should be noted that for the first time in the history of the Total Energies Africa Cup of Nations, all 52 matches of the competition will use video assistant referee VAR, plus the fact that Salima Radia Mukansanga is the first woman to officiate at the Continental Sports Jamboree. We've come to the end of the 6:30 p.m. edition of News on My Media Prime Television. My name is Fon Quinter. Coming up at exactly 7 p.m. is Prime Hour with Kumledad and his team. We meet again tomorrow, same time for another edition of Prime News. Have a great evening in the company of more programs on the African Eye. Bye.